Good morning, students. We are starting with new chapter, and that is chapter 2 from your book. Okay, all the exercise work I shall check when the school will open. Okay, now let's continue with the second chapter. So the second chapter is physical quantities. Okay, and measurement. Physical quantities and measurement. Now, what is the physical quantity? The first question may arise in your mind: what is a physical quantity? Any measurable quantity in physics, that is known as physical quantity. What I am saying, any measurable quantity in physics, that is known as physical quantity. Okay, any measurable. So what are the example? The length, breadth, height, volume, okay, density, mass, weight, force. So all these are the physical quantities. Basically in this chapter we shall discuss with a special physical quantity, that is density. Density is a very important physical quantity. Why it is important, you shall know for time being. Okay, but what is the density? The mass per unit volume. What I am talking, density equal to mass per unit volume. So mass by volume, that is equal to density. So mass by volume, if I want to write the formula, that is m by v, where m equal to mass and v equal to volume. So there is only one formula you need when you are asked to determine the density of some substance. First of all, you have to determine its mass, then its volume, and then divide mass with the volume. Okay, you will find the density. This is the only rule you need here. Okay, now let's talk about the unit of density. Unit of density. So what is the unit of density? If we take density as d, okay, so unit of density, okay, so this is the formula, d equal to m by v. This is the formula. So unit of density, that is equal to unit of mass by unit of volume. So what is the unit of mass? If we talk about the CGS unit, then what is the CGS unit of mass? That is gram. And what is the CGS unit of volume? That is centimeter cube or cubic centimeter. Okay, just cubic centimeter, that is cm cube, and that is also written as cc, cubic centimeter. Okay, so gram per cc, that is the CGS unit of density. Okay, this is CGS unit. Now you tell me, what will be the SI unit? What is the SI unit of mass? Pause the video and determine. Is it done? Now verify. What is the SI unit of mass? That is kg. What is the SI unit of volume? The SI unit of volume will be meter cube. Okay, so kg per meter cube, that is the SI unit of density. Is it okay? Okay, now let's do some experimental work. Okay, and we shall do that in laboratory too. Okay, at least I shall show you. Okay, so let's determine the density of a solid. Let's say a solid is given to you, a solid like this. Let's say a stone chip, but have a special cuboid shape. Okay, I'm taking its sides are 10 centimeter, and I have asked to find its density. Okay, how to do? First determine its volume. So V equal to 10 into 10 into 10. As I said, this is a cuboid. 10 into 10 into 10. That's mean 1000 centimeter cube. Now measure its mass. Let's say its mass, I have just measured with a beam balance. Its mass is 100 gram. Let's say 100 gram. Now what will be its density? Just apply this formula. So its density D equal to mass by volume. So mass equal to 100 divided by the volume is 1000. Okay, 0 0 0 0. So 1/10 means 0.1 gram per cc. So this is its density. Is it okay? Okay, next, let's say instead of a regular object, a irregular stone chip is here. A irregular stone chip is here. Now how will you measure the density of this substance? This is also very easy. When you want to measure the mass, that will not be a problem. You can measure the mass by using a beam balance. That is very easy. Okay, and let's say this time the mass is 125 gram. Okay, as it is easy, so I have measured it first. Now you have to determine its volume. How to measure the volume? This is also very simple. We have the measuring cylinder now. We have the measuring cylinder, a cylinder like this. Okay, so you just have to take some water. Let's say up to this extent, there are some scale is given here. Okay, and now just put the stone chip in it. The water will rise up, and we know the water will rise up, and this water must have some volume, and this volume must be equal to the volume of this stone chip. Now you are getting this volume from the measuring cylinder. Let's say its volume is 75 gram, 75 centimeter cube. Okay, now just apply the formula, you will find the density. Is it okay? Okay, so for a irregular shape you have to use this type of measuring cylinder. Also another type of instrument is here, that is known as Eureka can. What is a Eureka can? Basically a Eureka can is this type of can which is filled with water up to this extent, and there is a pipe from which water can flows out. Okay, we just have to keep a measuring cylinder here, Okay, the Eureka can, let's say, is just upon a block. Now put the stone chip in the Eureka can. What will happen? The water will flows out here and spout in it. Okay, and the water which will gather here is the volume of the stone chip. Now you are getting the volume and you have already the mass. You can determine the density. So these are the two processes, by using directly a measuring cylinder or using a Eureka can. Okay, but this is unnecessary. The Eureka can process is not necessary actually. This is more efficient process. Is it okay? Okay, so this is how you can measure the density of a irregular solid. Now suppose I asked you to determine the density of a liquid. Let's say we shall determine the density of some oil. So how we will determine the density of the oil? Okay, this is also an easy process. Okay, so first of all, keep mind in one thing, that is you have to determine the mass then the volume. What I'm talking? First the mass, then the volume. The density of oil we can measure by using a measuring cylinder with a special arrangement. Okay, this is a measuring cylinder and this is a cork, stop cork. Okay, that's mean like a lead. Okay, ওই হোমিওপ্যাথি শিশিতে যেমন ঢাকনা থাকে সেই রকম টাইপের একটা ঢাকনা. Okay, now what is our aim? Our aim is to determine first of all the mass of the oil, then the volume of the oil. Okay, this process is also very easy. Let's say first determine the mass of the empty cylinder with the stop cork by a beam balance. Let's say the mass of empty cylinder, and I am taking it as m1. Okay, now do one thing, fill the total cylinder with distilled water. Distilled water means pure water I am talking about. With pure water, and again measure its mass. So mass of cylinder plus water, that is equal to m2. Is it clear? The water is in the cylinder, now I am measuring the whole thing, so mass of cylinder plus water, that is m2. Now what is the mass of water? So mass of water only, cylinder plus water m2, and only cylinder is m1, so only water, that must be m2 minus m1. Is it okay? Now what is the volume of the water? One thing, this is very much important, that water is the physical quantity whose mass and densities are same in CGS unit. Mass and densities are same in CGS unit. Why? Because we have this formula, density equal to mass by volume. Density is equal to mass by volume. So mass equal to density into volume. So from here I can write mass equal to density into volume. And the density of pure water, density of water in CGS, that is 1 gram per cc. Keep it in mind, 1 gram per cc in CGS, and in SI this is 1000 kg per meter cube. In SI 1000 kg per meter cube, but in CGS 1 gram per cc. So if you want to determine its volume, so volume equal to mass by density. So volume equal to mass by density. Density is 1. So basically volume of the water is also m2 minus m1. Okay, so volume of the water means volume of the cylinder. Is it right? Volume of the water means volume of the cylinder, because the cylinder is full of water, so this will be the volume. Okay, now fill up the cylinder with this oil. Fill up the cylinder with this oil and measure its mass. Okay, so mass of cylinder plus oil, let's say this is m3. So mass of cylinder plus oil is m3. So mass of oil only, cylinder plus oil m3, only cylinder m1. So this is m3 minus m1. Now this oil, now this cylinder is filled with this oil. Okay, so the volume of the cylinder must be equal to the volume of the oil. So what will be the density? Density will be the mass of the oil, that's mean this is mass of the oil by, this is the formula, mass of the oil by volume of the oil. What is the volume of the oil? That is the volume of the cylinder, that is m2 minus m1. So this is the formula. Determination process is not required here. That's mean how you are determining. Okay, but this formula will be necessary for you, this formula. But I shall suggest you to understand this process very carefully. Okay, see it at least 3 times from the book and from this video, at least 3 to 4 times. Okay, then you will understand this. Okay, next topic is, rewind the video and see it again. Okay, next topic is the variation of density with temperature. Variation of density with temperature. So we have density equal to mass by volume. Now if you increase the temperature, will the mass change? No, of course the mass will not change, because mass is a constant quantity. But if you increase the temperature, the volume will change. When the temperature will increase, the volume will also increase. From the previous chapter we know this. When you increase the temperature, volume will also increase. And when from here volume will increase, mass is constant, the density will decrease, because this is the denominator is increasing, that's mean this thing will decrease. So when the volume will increase, the density will decrease. So what is here? Increase in temperature means decrease in density, and vice versa. Is it okay? This thing is very much important. Increase in temperature means decrease in density. Now I shall talk about a few natural consequence of change in density with temperature. Okay, let's first talk about there is some water, and that is on a burner. We are heating the water. So when you are heating the water, this part of this water will get hot. and when its temperature is increasing, its volume will decrease, because we just know from here, when the temperature will increase, density will decrease. So temperature is increasing, density is decreasing, and when the density is decreasing, of course it will go up, and the high denser liquid will come down. Is it okay? The low density liquid molecule will go up, and the low density liquid molecule will go up, and the high density molecule will come down, and they will again heat up, and they will again go up. Okay, in this process a convection current will generate from the, like the previous chapter. Okay, actually this is the basis of kinetic model. Okay, just read it from book. The same thing happened for air also. In daytimes, air which is attached to the ground get hot first and go up. Okay, and from upside the cold air come down, and that is why in air also we get a convection current like this. There are also two consequences, sea bridge and land bridge. What I am talking about? I am talking about sea bridge and land bridge related to this consequence, sea bridge and land bridge. Okay, what is sea bridge? In daytime air come from the seaside to land. This is sea bridge. Why? Because in daytime land get hot fast. Okay, and that is why the air which is attached to the land go up, and the cold air from the sea just flows to fill up the empty places. Okay, that is why in daytime sea breeze flows, and in night time when the land first get cools, and as the specific heat of water is high, the sea remain hot basically, and that is why the air which are just on the sea surface become hot, and they goes up. Just read these two consequences from your book. Very easy topic, try to understand. Okay, just try to understand. If you can't understand, then ask me. Very easy topic. Okay, last thing we shall read, but that is in next video.